your next door neighbor, the nice guy next door that you would never imagine is capable of doing such things. And as opposed to the monster that everybody runs from, I think that it allows the movie to live on another level. You know, it makes the stalking of women that much easier. It makes the plausibility of him being in a relationship that much believable, and therefore it makes women way more vulnerable.
Had you seen the original Maniac?
I hadn't prior to the filming of this. I ended up watching it while we were shooting, and it was a movie that I was aware of. I knew that it was, you know, a kind of stalwart of the early, you know, 80s genre cinema, but I hadn't seen the film. And I found it incredibly powerful. I mean, it still resonates, I think largely because of Joe Spinell's performance. Not to take anything away from Lustig, because I think he made something very visceral and grimy and uncomfortable. And it certainly doesn't shy away from violence, which created a lot of controversy at the time. But it's I think, made so memorable because of that character. And I think for Franck, the director, in retelling the story, it was really important because that really resonated with him, that this characterization be equally empathetic on some level, that you do sort of see, even like in the most heinous of acts, that there is humanity in the character.
I think, like most the real cinephiles, remakes sort of don't sit really well with people, and so. But I also think that primarily the genre audience, and I think are the best audiences for movies, which means that they really appreciate movies, and it could be you know, it could be one of my movies, or a David Lean movie, or an Aja movie. It could be anything. As long as it's good, I think they'll be okay with it. So certainly at first the backlash was, oh my God, how dare you remake Maniac? And I wasn't going to do it unless I felt that we could do something that was new, innovative, and that could create a movie that would stand on its own. And I know if we did that the audience would take it for what it is, and allow it to live on its own and appreciate it. They want good movies. I don't think they care that it's a remake or not. They just want to see good movies.
I oftentimes think that remakes are not necessarily made because there's a burning creative desire to tell something new within the context of something that's familiar, but rather a very easy way to get something out there to a new audience whilst having kind of a familiarity. And it's rampant in the horror genre too. And I think, you know, my initial response to this was, it's a remake, I don't know. But I think as soon as I realized that it was such a different take on the original, because I don't know, man, I think if you're going to remake something and you're doing something exciting and different with it, it then has merit. You know, there's a reason for its existence. There's a reason to retell it. There's a, you know, but just simply to do something because, you know, what we also love in the industry these days, and I find this increasingly strange because we're in such a global world now, where a movie, well, like a foreign horror film, for instance, which we all tend to see if we're into that genre, and now with the advent of VOD, it's easier to get access to those things. They're remade within a couple of years of having already come out, and the most recent example of that I can think of is Let the Right One In. You know, I think the remake is serviceable totally to the original. It's clearly made with reverence to the source material, but that film, we all just saw it. Like, I just felt like, wow, we've only just digested this beautiful piece of genre work that, you know, clearly got in front of people in the US, and just felt too soon. It feels like that gap now between something coming out and then having to remake it for American audiences. I feel like we need to get past that. It's like, we can see foreign movies and read subtitles. Like, we can handle that. I think this idea that you're just capitalizing on the success of something, I don't know.
Bravo.
Yeah, sorry, bit of a rant there. When I think of something that I like, the idea that I already like it means that I don't want to see anybody else touch it. I think that the movies to mine are movies that were made that had interesting ideas. I mean, if we're going to go down this path, you know, at least look for material that wasn't successful in executing what was a good idea at its time. Take that kernel and then try and make it successful. Try and do something with it that it wasn't able to achieve at the time. I think that's more interesting. You know, look for movies that, God, they had something. That movie really had something. And then see about updating it and make it come to fruition in a way that it couldn't then.
Insane movie, man.
Yeah, it's definitely...
It was a really good pick.
It's definitely something you have to watch visually, and this movie doesn't get enough credit, man. There's not a lot out for it.
Yeah, until you had said something, that's one of those movies that I had never really heard of before.
Mm.
And I'm glad I got to watch this. I know we were gonna have Vic on, and I don't know if he had seen this already.
I don't think so.
But that would have been cool to see his reactions too, because this movie was pretty fucked up.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
pretty fun.
Yes, it was awesome. It was as crazy and
because it's not just, there's more to it than just that shock value stuff, because
you kind of get into the psyche of Franck, and you kind of, like you said, you do get to they do kind of humanize him, and you kind of feel sorry for him a little bit, because you understand where he's come from. Mm-hmm. And that's a really cool part of the movie, where you're kind of just understanding he's not just some kind of crazy serial killer.
Or, yeah, they at least take the time to kind of show...
The character build.
Yeah, to kind of, throw that in there for this. And especially because this movie is very, obviously, fast-paced. Mm-hmm. And so for them to be able to get you to feel that is kind of a victory in itself, I would think.
Yeah.
You really get, the feels throughout this, and it's not all because of the horror. There's a lot more to it, and that's why I like that. And this is a very unique journey too.
Yeah,
you know, there's nothing quite like this, even just tonally and the way that they capture LA, and you know, it does kind of feel, like I said,
you do get that drive feel.
Yeah, because it does the throwback to the 80s, mm-hmm. You know, with the music, the synth, going down. But then there's no Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, some crazy,
and there's no heroes.
Yeah, it's just a villain, a serial killer
doing his thing.
Yeah. But I mean, if you guys have gone this far and you haven't seen the movie, do yourselves a huge favor. Check Maniac out.
Even if we did spoil it for you, it's that good.
Yeah,
where you have to. It's something you have to see for yourself.
There's things that we didn't talk about that you could see in full detail.
Yeah. If you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Please do it.
Yeah.
Because this movie doesn't get enough credit.
I don't think so.
But do you want to jump into... I only have a couple Swan facts.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is an indie picture, but...
I'm excited for it, man.
All right, here we go.
Swan facts.
All right, let's get into it. So the film's running time is about 2 minutes longer than the original film. You don't actually see Franck's face until about 12 minutes in.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. That's another thing. Kind of like Friday the 13th with the title card.
Yeah.
This one is what they had original there. It's you don't even see your protagonist until a while in.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. One we spoiled earlier, Goodbye Horses is featured in the film, which is a nod to Silence of the Lambs. This film was actually banned in... I'm talking about Maniac, but it was banned in New Zealand.
Oh, really?
People can't watch that over there at all.
Oh, that sucks for them.
They couldn't even... They don't even have a DVD release. This led the film. So this came out officially, and it was on the indie circuit in 2012, and then it was officially released 2013, and it had that problem with people not liking it or banning it in certain places. So this film ended up being one of the most pirated films of that year.
Nice.
because no one could get their
there's
hands
no
on it, and so it's
access
funny
to it.
because it's that saying where they say there is no bad publicity. Bad publicity is
It's good publicity.
or any kind of publicity is good publicity, right? And so I thought that was pretty interesting. But director Franck Khalfoun actually said somebody passed out during a screening they did in Los Angeles, and this is something he's very proud of. He pats himself on the back for that.
Yeah, I would do the same thing. I'd be pretty happy.
Because it's like you put all your work into this, and it's a genre film, so you want to have people kind of like The Exorcist feel something.
You want that shock.
Yeah, because especially with horror fans, they think that they've seen it all. So that's why I loved Hereditary so much, because they did something that hadn't been done. If it's been done before, it hadn't been done right in so many years.
Yeah.
That it just it drove a bunch of people crazy. But yeah, and that's the end of my explanation.
Okay, short and sweet.
Yep.
Always entertaining as always.
I'm trying, man. I try.
Killing it. Killing it.
So let's close out and talk about what we got going on as far as like pop-ups and events. And
Yeah, so September 30th, we have Pints and Pins.
which will be this weekend coming up.
Yes, so definitely if you're listening to this on Friday or Saturday, go check us out. We're going to be there in the North Park, San Diego area. It is at, what's the name of the bar?
North Park Beer Co.
Yes, check them out. You can also look up Pin and Patch Con on Instagram.
Yep.
And you can find the details there.
Or at our page.
Or at A Pin Apart.
A Pin Apart. The Instagram.
Yes.
We have multiple flyers there.
Yes, definitely.
It's going to be fun. So any San Diegans who are free this Sunday, come down and celebrate local artists.
Yeah, there's no, like you said, there's no entry fee.
Yeah, it's free. It's all ages. We got killer food.
Yes.
Killer beer.
Oh, yeah.
Non-alcoholic drinks for all the kiddies and buddies like my friend James here.
Okay.
Even though you said you're going to drink a beer with me, I'm going to hold you to that.
All right, you got to pick a good one because I don't know what the fuck I'm picking.
All right. But yeah, we hope to see you guys there.
Yeah.
And shop some really cool talent.
Yes.
Besides us.
Because there is a ton of talented people.
Fire.
Yes, that's going to be there.
Oh, yeah.
So I look forward to meeting new artists and stuff like that, and looking forward to meeting anyone who is a listener.
That's right.
Yeah. What else do we have? Another special event coming up.
Yeah. So the Digital Gym.
Oh yeah.
Which is one of our favorite indie art house theaters.
Yes.
In San Diego, in North Park. We have teamed up with them
once again
to do Evil Dead.
Oh yeah.
From 2013.
Yes.
It's Fede Alvarez's debut film. It stars Jane Levy of Castle Rock and Don't Breathe. She's always awesome.
Yes.
And that's going to be on October 9th, which it falls on a Tuesday.
Yes.
I know it's a tall order, but we hope you guys can come out for that.
Please.
It'll be... It'll start at 8. The movie will start at 8. Although we encourage you to show up a little early if you want to hang out and say hi. And we will have the pop-up shop for a pin apart there. If you missed this Sunday's events and you want to pick up something, we should have something for you. But yeah, shout out to the Digital Gym for always helping us out. Shout out to Sony.
Oh, Sony.
For giving us the rights to Evil Dead.
Yeah.
And now we can forgive them for slapping Venom with a PG-13 rating.
Right, yeah. It makes it a little better. Easier to take.
But yeah, the Evil Dead remake.
Yes.
We are screening it. We're getting fall started real in a big way, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I think we are.
With lots of blood.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be pretty gruesome.
Going to be a tasty one.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be groovy.
We're going back to the cabin.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be there.
But I hope you guys can come out. It's Tuesday, October 9th.
Yes.
It's going to be